Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something that trips a lot of people up, the invisible curriculum of professional life.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about, the unwritten rules, workplace culture, daily routines, and especially how to communicate when things get, intense?
We looked at this really interesting source material you sent over. It simulated a conversation, right? A new employee, Daniel, learning the ropes from Olivia, someone more experienced.
That's right. And our mission today is to basically extract the core wisdom from that exchange for you, the listener.
Because look, stepping into a new job or even just navigating your current one, the real challenge often isn't the task itself, it's the speed.
Mm.
Real work communication happens fast. Quick meetings, hurried feedback, maybe a deadline pops up out of nowhere. It can feel pretty scary.
Yeah, and people worry, am I using the right words? Is my grammar okay? Should I write this long, perfect email?
But the surprising thing we pulled from this material, the real insight.
It's that you don't need linguistic perfection.
Right.
Not at all. The key professional skill, it's clarity.
Just short, clear sentences.
Exactly. Short, unambiguous sentences that respect everyone's time. That's the goal.
So we're going to walk through the typical work experience based on this Daniel and Olivia exchange. From starting the day, dealing with managers, handling deadlines.
And even getting into that crucial work-life balance piece, how to make it all sustainable.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. The daily blueprint. What time do people actually show up?
Well, punctuality is definitely important. The official start might be 9:00 a.m., but the sources highlight this cultural expectation. Olivia calls it the quiet start.
Quiet start, so like arriving earlier.
Yeah, often around 8:30 a.m. It's not just about being physically present before 9.
There's a purpose to it.
Definitely. It's about being proactive. The standard activity isn't just sitting there waiting. It's checking emails, sure, but mainly looking at your schedule, planning your day.
Getting ahead of the curve, sort of.
Exactly. Preparing your mind, not just reacting to whatever lands in your inbox first thing.
And you mentioned planning. The source material seems pretty strong on this. Daniel learns, maybe the hard way, that just trying to remember everything, it doesn't work.
Right. He forgets half of what he needs to do. So the key action item, the really practical advice.
What are they?
Write down 3 main tasks for the day. Just 3.
3 seems manageable.
It is. And it creates focus. It creates a hierarchy. If you don't define your priorities, well, someone else's urgent email will define them for you.
Okay, so planning is crucial. The source mentions tools like Trello, but also says clarity is key. Does that mean, like, a simple notebook is okay, even in a techie office?
Oh, absolutely. A notebook, a sticky note, whatever works for you. The tool itself doesn't matter as much as the process.
The process of getting clarity.
Yeah.
Right.
Seeing your main tasks clearly and committing to them. Don't get lost in finding the perfect app. Focus on the listing and prioritizing.
Okay, got it. Let's shift from planning to breaks. Are they allowed, encouraged, frowned upon?
Encouraged, actually. The conversation between Daniel and Olivia explicitly mentions short breaks, like grabbing a coffee around 10:30 a.m.
And is framed as helping productivity, not hindering it.
Exactly. Get up, stretch, walk around, maybe chat with coworkers for a few minutes. It's seen as necessary, not wasted time.
A necessary decompression.
Yeah.
But Olivia points out something deeper, right? A hidden value.
Yes. This is where it gets interesting. She calls it internal networking.
Internal networking during a coffee break. How does that work?
Think about it. These are low-stakes interactions. You build rapport, a bit of trust.
Okay.
If you can have a quick, easy chat about something small or even just share a laugh over coffee, people start to see you as approachable, reliable.
So when a bigger project comes up.
They're more likely to think of you, to loop you in, to trust you with more responsibility. It's those simple, consistent chats that build connections. Sometimes opportunities pop up there that you'd never find in an email chain.
That makes sense. So breaks are the low-stakes practice ground, maybe?
Yeah.
And then meetings. Those are the high-stakes moments.
Definitely. Where those connections, that trust, kind of gets tested.
Let's talk about the fear. Speaking up in meetings. especially, online meetings. Cameras on, everyone watching. People worry about mistakes.
It's a huge source of anxiety for many, but this brings us back to that core idea: clarity over complexity.
Forget the perfect long speech.
Exactly. Aim for short, clear contributions. Just showing you're engaged is often more valuable than staying silent trying to formulate the perfect sentence.
Okay, so give us some practical phrases. What can you actually say to jump in effectively?
Simple stuff works best. Things like, I think this works, or I agree with that point. Even just, that's a good idea.
Basic engagement phrases.
Yeah, gold. But beyond just agreeing, the sources highlight two really vital cultural tips that can boost your confidence in these situations.
Okay, tip number 1.
Direct communication. In many offices, especially international ones like the one described, overly hesitant language can come across as, well, inefficient.
So instead of, I was wondering if possibly you might perhaps have a moment.
Right. Just say, can you help me with this? Or could you clarify that? It's direct, it's polite enough, and it respects their time.
Okay, directness. And the second tip, it involves interrupting, which feels wrong sometimes.
It can feel wrong depending on your background, but in this context, polite interruption for clarification is actually acceptable. It shows you're paying attention.
You don't have to wait for that perfect silent moment that never comes.
Exactly. Use phrases like, sorry, may I ask a quick question? Or, and this is crucial if English isn't your first language or the topic is complex, could you repeat that, please?
Asking shows respect for the content.
Right. Pretending you understood when you didn't, that's the real mistake.
Let's zoom in on managers. The source uses the example of Daniel talking to his manager, Sarah. How does he address her?
It shows him using her first name. Hi, Sarah, can I ask you something?
Which, for some listeners, might feel way too informal. No Mr. or Miss.
In the specific office culture, yes. It reflects a flatter hierarchy, probably aimed at speeding up communication. Less formality, faster interaction.
But what if you're new? Or just unsure about a specific workplace? You can't just assume first names are okay everywhere.
Absolutely not. You need a fallback. A respectful way to figure it out.
Which is?
Just ask, politely, how would you like me to address you?
Simple, direct, respectful.
Exactly. It shows awareness and lets the manager set the tone, much better than guessing wrong.
Okay, what about giving feedback? Or suggesting a different idea, maybe to a manager or a peer? How do you do that without sounding critical?
The key word from the source is constructive. Olivia gives a kind of template for it.
Lead with the positive.
Yeah. Start with what you liked or what works. I liked this part of the project. Then introduce your idea as an addition or alternative. Maybe we could also try this idea.
So it's collaborative, not confrontational.
Precisely. It turns potential criticism into a shared problem-solving effort.
And just generally, interacted with coworkers, the advice seems pretty simple.
It boils down to basic kindness, really. Don't underestimate simple things.
Like saying thanks.
Yeah, thanks so much, or good job, or nice work on that presentation. These little phrases, they cost nothing, but they build that positive, high-trust environment we talked about. Like deposits in the relationship bank.
Okay, relationship bank. I like that.
Yeah.
That leads us nicely into something that can cause a lot of professional anxiety. Deadlines.
The dreaded D word.
Right. It sounds inherently stressful.
It does, but the insight here is to reframe it. Don't think of deadlines as like traps or punishments. Think of them as guides.
Guides. How so?
They're tools to help manage time, to structure the work, to stop everything from just piling up indefinitely.
Okay. And the source mentioned Daniel's initial mistake with tasks, trying to do too much at once.
Yeah, trying to juggle 5 things and finishing none. The solution goes right back to that morning planning we discussed.
Prioritize.
You got it. List the tasks, figure out what's actually urgent like, due today, and tackle those first. Before getting lost in less important emails or smaller tasks, create that deadline hierarchy for yourself.
But what if, realistically, you just can't finish on time? It happens.
It absolutely happens. And the key message from the source material is managers prefer honesty over silence. Always.
Hiding the problem is the worst thing you can do.
Definitely. The professional move is to flag it early. Proactively ask for an adjustment. This shows you're aware you're managing the situation.
So what's the phrase? How do you say it?
Something clear and actionable, like, I need more time for this report. Can we adjust the deadline?
Notice you're not saying I failed or I can't do it.
Right. You're framing it as a scheduling issue that needs a collaborative solution.
Yeah.
Can we adjust? Not just, I need.
Okay, but what if the deadline is firm? The manager says, nope, sorry, it has to be done. What's the next step then, according to the source?
Then you connect back to the team. This isn't about admitting weakness, it's about smart problem solving.
Ask for help.
Yes. Or delegate a piece if possible. Collaborate with a coworker. Managers would much rather hear that you're taking steps involving others to hit the critical deadline than discover at the last minute that it's not going to happen. Open communication beats silent failure every time.
That idea of collaboration, of it being a team effort, seems to tie into the final section. This concept of a marathon mindset and work-life balance.
Exactly. There's often this worry, isn't there, that if you leave on time, you look less committed.
Yeah, like you should always be staying late.
But the philosophy described here is different. Work-life balance, or WLB, isn't just a nice-to-have. It's actually part of the culture because it supports long-term productivity.
How does rest connect to productivity? Seems counterintuitive sometimes.
Think about it. Tired workers make mistakes. That's what Olivia points out. Burnout is real. Working till 9 p.m. every night, like Daniel apparently did in his old job, it's just not sustainable. Quality drops, mistakes happen.
So the source stresses this isn't a sprint.
It's a marathon. You need to work steadily, yes, but also maintain balance so you can keep going for the long haul. Longevity is key.
And part of that balance is life outside work.
Absolutely essential. Hobbies, interests. The source mentions things like hitting the gym, reading, playing guitar. These aren't distractions. They're vital for keeping your mind fresh, creative, and well-balanced.
So the overall advice is pretty holistic.
Very. Focus on your health, get exercise, make sure you rest, spend time with family, keep learning new things. It all feeds back into being a better, more sustainable employee.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've basically mapped out the entire workplace experience from this source material.
Yeah, we went beyond just words. We looked at the underlying culture. Punctuality, being ready at 8.55 for a 9.00 start, the value of directness in communication, how breaks build networks.
How deadlines are guides, not threats. How balance fuels productivity.
And that core idea again, confidence comes from clarity and cultural understanding, not complex vocabulary. Simple phrases are powerful.
Can you repeat that, please? Can we adjust the deadline? Good job.
Those are the building blocks. They show competence and engagement.
We really hope this deep dive has given you, our listeners, some concrete insights. Not just work tips, maybe, but almost life advice, as Olivia put it.
The goal is that you feel less overwhelmed, more equipped with a kind of roadmap for navigating professional interactions and routines.
So here's the final thought we want to leave you with, building on everything we've discussed. You've now heard about the importance of daily routines, managing deadlines, clear communication, meeting etiquette.
Think about starting fresh tomorrow in a new international office environment.
Which of these areas, getting the hang of meetings, juggling those deadlines, or mastering that clear, direct communication with coworkers and managers, which one feels like it would be your biggest challenge to implement right away, and why?
That's something worth reflecting on as you take these ideas into your own work life. What's your next area for focus?